last week. How's the heart? How is it now?
Yeah, I'm better now. No, atmosphere obviously in the change rooms was quite incredible. Sort of see the journey that we've been on to get to this point in time, and you just sort of see the smiles on people's faces and just how excited everyone is. And I think we're all in a little bit of disbelief how it all sort of unfolded, but that was just a cracking game of footy, full of errors, full of mistakes, but somehow found a way through some will and some grit and some courage, and were able to hit the scoreboard at the end. So I guess that's what matters, was being in front at the end.
Is the story of your season sort of becoming about resilience? Like, to turn it around from where you were, to soak up the sort of pressure that you've soaked up in the first two finals, to somehow find a way to win. Like, there's a really tough, mentally and physically tough streak about this team.
Yeah, I think there'll be a time when we sit back at the end of the year and reflect on all the sort of things. All I'll say is that without it, we wouldn't be here. Things through that period of time were some harsh lessons, some needed lessons to work out what was important to us. And we've tried to stay true to that, tried to stay present to that. And we've tried to enjoy that little bit of the journey along the way. And, we're pretty determined, despite what was going on around the outside and the excitement that was generated on the outside, that we kept our eyes in and firmly focused on Melbourne, who, finished the game last week, and they wouldn't have been happy with the way they played. And they're a competitive bunch. They're resilient and they're tough in their own right. So we knew what we're up against. Melbourne threw a pretty handy punch at the start. Their pressure was off the charts early. And to win finals, you have to absorb. We didn't have a turn then. We had to wait our turn, and we were able to counter punch a couple of times. But to find our way at the end, somehow we end up finding a way to win, but that momentum was not with us in the last 7 or 8 minutes of that game.
He was involved in some crucial moments late. How proud of him were you for fighting on after dislocating his shoulder?
Yeah, incredible. Sort of doesn't surprise me with him, though. Like, he's spoke to him at half-time and said, "What do you got?" And he said, "I'll give you everything I have got." And it seemed like it actually pulled up not too bad. So it's obviously, you don't put him out there if it's too much at risk, but he was able to strap it up and get back out there and play. So it certainly won't feel right if we're not forging ahead without him, that's for sure. So I'm sure he will get to work pretty hard on what that shoulder is and get himself right for next week.
Speaking of shoulders, Blake Acres looked like he could lift his arm at one point there again tonight.
That's been 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, he kicked the winner again. He's been a hero 2 weeks in a row. What's his sort of season been like when he's sort of on the scrap heap in his third club, and he's powered through 2 September massive moments?
Well, he's been big for us. He's added it to our defensive integrity. We're specific looking at what we needed to add to our group at the end of last year. We felt like we needed a real power runner on the outside, and he values defence first. And coincidentally, it was actually the 2 goals that he kicked that helped us. But he's been an incredible addition to our team, and he brings a new level of energy, and always love playing with him.
Special outing from him tonight. Is he just a finals player, or how big was he tonight?
Yeah, he was brilliant. Again, sort of involved in all those little moments. It's amazing how good players just find themselves in those sorts of moments. But look, there's been a lot of players have been waiting and biding their time for this, and it's taken some time to get to here. To be able to walk into a prelim, that's pretty incredible. To be able to get to there based on where we were and the climb we've had to have, this year, let alone last year. So, no, we'll just sort of absorb it for now, I think. We'll have a couple of days rest, and then we'll somehow turn ourselves back into next week.
That's a good challenge for you as a coach, isn't it? Because it's such an emotional high at the moment. You mentioned it. I mean, the rooms were going off. That's pretty amazing. Like, it's a challenge for you to sort of get back. There's a preliminary final to win now.
Yeah, there is. I think we've done that really, really well. Learning to just enjoy your wins, that's critical. And clearly that's one of the biggest that you can be a part of. It's one of the biggest I've been a part of. So to be able to be a part of that, you have to enjoy that moment. If that means that involves a little bit of emotion, if that means it involves a little bit of joy, we'll take it. Got a couple of days over the weekend to absorb that, and we'll roll in Monday and roll up the sleeves, and we'll focus in on Brisbane.
Challenging will the selection be this week with Harry Mackay available and Jack Martin available?
Yeah, I hope it is. Yeah, they will. Yeah, both be available. So yeah, well, look, I haven't thought that far ahead, to be honest with you. Other than to say that, we were making it hard for ourselves during that game at times. Contest defence were probably keeping us in it, but some of our ball movement needs some work. Clearly when we're going forward, we just weren't connecting enough. I felt like we were sort of playing the right way enough, but the skill areas were there. We just lacked a little bit of connection, maybe some predictability with the ball in hand. So we'll have to look at that pretty hard. Clearly having H up there with Charlie helps us a lot. So it just, I guess, alleviates some of the things that he's got to do, and he's got a mate down there that can help him out. So one thing I can guarantee you is if Harry's available, he'll be playing.
What do you think of the team's confidence that you can scrape together a winning score when Kerno was that well held and you didn't have Mackay and Martin, being able to get those finishes out of Motlop and DeConning? That must have been a pretty big boost for the team. Yeah,
look, I mean, we always take method, but today, I don't normally say this, but we get great confidence out of the result we got. It was unorthodox at times, but we were able to find our way to win. So that says a great deal about the courage and resilience of this football team. Maybe some of the lessons that we've learned over time, but I think we're putting that all to work, and they're just sticking together and staying really connected as a footy team and staying as present as possibly can. I feel like I'm pretty boring when I talk about those sorts of things, but it's working, so I don't think we need to change it.
Given the extent of the transformation from the footy you were playing earlier in the year, how relevant is that? I think it was round 8, the game against Brisbane. How was that marvel?
No, not much relevance at all. I think if you look at sort of the way Brisbane played now, there's some points of difference, and there's sure a lot of points of difference to us. So, yeah, there's a cohesive unit there. We lack cohesion. Where do you want to start? I mean, it's just a different unit. It's just a different team.
Do you not even
I
worry
don't
about
think it's not really going to pay much relevance to us. Our job is making sure that we get us right, and we're pretty confident if we do that we've got enough in us. There's enough in that room to be able to get the job done.
There was a bit of talk this week about it being his biggest game of his career, and Tom DeConning was a monster in that first half. Did you put a challenge to him? How did he respond to playing a little bit more forward than usual and lifting?
No, he's been good, Tom. The combination with Pitto and as Tom has been really important. It's evolved across the course of the year. Getting that balance of Tom forward versus into the ruck, where it's been a continual work on for us, and they live well together. It's they complement each other in their strengths. And having a big guy who can go forward and provide an aerial threat, which is what we needed, tonight. And Tom's been able to do that. So to get a couple of goals from your ruck playing there is actually a real advantage to us as a team. So still a lot left in it. There's still a lot of improvement left in it, but certainly the energy he's bringing and that relationship he's forging with Pitto is it's certainly coming along well.
What's it going to be like going back to the Gabba for the biggest game of your coaching career, given your history at that ground?
Yeah, I don't know. It should be exciting, though. But without doubt, the person that's going there is a Carlton person. So,
when we go up there, have you thought of talking?
No, it'll be just the day before as normal. So we don't need to change our travel plans. It'll be exactly the same. So,
is it definitely Saturday, by the way? I should know
yes,
that.
it is. Yeah. Don't know time slot yet, but you might know that before me.
Do you think there's an advantage for you in having an extra game under your belt, being a bit more battle-hardened against Lions who played 2 games in 4 weeks?
I'll tell you at the end of Saturday. I don't know. Honestly, can't tell you. I don't know.
So were there any issues with Jacob Williams' hand tonight?
He's what, sorry?
Any issues with his hand? Did you hurt his
No.
hand at all?
No, I don't
Come
think
across
so.
your desk.
No, don't know.
Anyone else have any knocks, injuries?
Have we?
Yeah.
No. Well, obviously Doc with his shoulder, so we'll assess that. So he's the major one at this point in time. Always wait till Monday on that one because I was just never too sure. So I'll say just Doc at the moment, but we'll wait till Monday.
So just on Dockett, is there any chance he doesn't play in this prelim?
Oh, too early to tell. Certainly, what was communicated back, it was certainly good enough to go back out and play. So that's a great sign. The fact he was able to do that says that he might fall in the basket of where Blake sits a little bit, and if we carefully manage it, then he should be able to get through. Cheers. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.